"Mom, I don't want to play with them anymore." 6-year-old Bridget came running home that day, tears streaming down her face as she fell into her mother Anna's arms. "George said that someone as short as me could be squished with 2 fingers. Jenny put the toy on the highest shelf on purpose, and I couldn't reach it even on tiptoes. They all laughed at me." Listening to her daughter's complaints, Anna remained silent for a moment, then gently wiped away Bridget's tears. She walked over to the table, picked 2 apples from the fruit bowl, one big, one small, cut them open, and offered them to Bridget to taste. Bridget took a bite of the bigger apple first and nodded, saying, "Sweet." She then took a bite of the smaller apple and exclaimed in surprise, "This one tastes even sweeter." Anna smiled and nodded, "You're right, my dear. From the same apple tree, the fruits can come in different sizes, some big, some small. In fact, the smaller apples often have a higher concentration of sugar, making them sweeter. Even God favors those little apples." Anna's meaningful words deeply moved Bridget. She realized that even though she was only 69 centimeters tall due to a congenital condition called dwarfism, it didn't mean her life had to be dull. If God loved small apples, she could be a small apple that shines brightly. From that day on, Bridget decided not to be held back by self-doubt. With her mother Anna's encouragement, she started to explore her interests and hobbies. Whether it was singing, dancing, gymnastics, or performing magic tricks, she put all her passion into it. Although small in stature, she never backed down because of her height. At school assemblies, Bridget became the one most willing to speak on stage, encouraging her classmates not to fear challenges. She even became the cheerleader for the school basketball team, though she couldn't play in the games. Her energy and enthusiasm on the sidelines brought laughter and encouragement to every match. She also participated in the school dance competition and became the Anna smiled and nodded, "You're right, my dear. From the same apple tree, the fruits can come in different sizes, some big, some small. In fact, the smaller apples often have a higher concentration of sugar." Center of attention on stage, despite her short stature among a group of taller dancers, her confidence and smile lit up the entire room. Her friends loved singing and dancing with her, and her laughter, like sunshine, warmed those around her, spreading joy to everyone. Before long, she began appearing in TV commercials, becoming a brand spokesperson. Her image in the ads was full of innocence and energy, and her petite, charming, and positive persona brought the brand significant popularity. Bridget gradually became a well-known figure in her community, and many children even looked up to her as a role model. At 19, fate challenged her once again, in a car accident. Bridget was struck by a vehicle and ended up in the hospital. With multiple fractures all over her body, she had to stay bedridden for 6 months, covered in bandages and unable to care for herself. Despite this, she maintained a positive attitude, refusing to give in to the pain she endured daily. As soon as she could move her hands slightly, she started writing on her computer. Lying in her hospital bed, she updated her personal blog with at least 1,000 words every day, sharing her reflections on life and her hopes for the future. Her story touched more and more people, and many became her loyal followers. Bridget's blog was filled with supportive and encouraging messages. She received gifts from all over, some handmade crafts, some handwritten postcards, and even motivational books from fans she had never met. These warm gestures of support strengthened Bridget's resolve. She made videos to thank her supporters and shared snippets of her daily life from the hospital bed. "God favors small apples, and I want to be the sweetest of them all," she said to her audience during a live stream, her eyes shining with a love for life. After her recovery, Bridget embarked on a new chapter of her life. During a book signing event, she performed a dance at the request of her readers. Dressed in a pink dress with a cute pink hair clip, even her nails painted a translucent pink, she looked just like a little fairy. Although her dance moves weren't perfect, her confidence and smile captivated every person in the audience. Someone asked her, "Bridget, What's the secret to your success? Bridget smiled and replied, God makes the smallest apple the sweetest. So I've always believed that the shortest me can also bring out a special radiance in life. That's God's favor for me. Today, Bridget is still active on stage, participating in various charity events and inspiring those facing challenges. She says, we are all like little apples, we may not be perfect. We may face storms, but if we persevere, we can become the sweetest of them all. This story teaches us that even if you are the smallest apple, you can shine brightly with your own sweetness and resilience. Because God favors those who keep pursuing the light through hardships. Bridget is one such little apple, growing through adversity. And through her story, she shows the world that even when life brings storms, if we hold on to our faith, we can find our own sunny days.